Today is the 26th of June 2024, and this will be our third video on algebraic expressions and slash solutions. Okay, now this is the factorized one. Yesterday we looked at expansion, okay, which is easy because you just multiply one term with the second bracket, then the second term with the second bracket. Okay. Thank you to everyone who have subscribed to my videos. Okay, if you haven't subscribed, can you please consider subscribing? And when you've subscribed and you receive our videos, please share. Invite others also, okay, to come and have a look at our platform. If they like it, they can also subscribe. Okay, like, share, follow us on other platforms as well. I appreciate it a lot. And if the account is not yours, please ask permission from the account holder, okay? Or ask somebody to help you open your account. In the comment section, you see please follow my notes as script, okay? If there's something wrong, I'll let you know. If it's just the numbers I jammed up, follow my notes as script, because algebra is a lot. It's mouthful as well. A lot of things, and I have to explain to you every step my thinking pattern. So there's a likelihood, if I want to say root 5, I'll say 5 root 5, those kind of stuff. But if you follow the notes, you won't go wrong. And if the notes are not accurate, I'll let you know, or I'll redo it in the next video. Okay. As I said, nobody is perfect. I go through this note several times, but there are times things get escape you because maybe you are in a hurry, you have to go somewhere, or you have to do other things. Okay. Beware of scammers, please. Don't be scammed. Okay. That's all I'll say for today. So watch last video for your recap. Okay. Today we are looking at mental math, and it says, okay, because it's for what we are doing now, you need the times table, your factors, your multiples. You need to be upfront with that, and you need to think fast. Okay, what factors can I use? What numbers can I use? Because if you have 40, okay, it can be 4 times 10, it can be 8 times 5, it can be 2 times 20, it can even be 1 times 40. Which one are you going to choose? Okay, to help you do your set question, or to help you factorize. Because if you can do these things, then it means, as simple as the question is, you might end up letting the marks go. Okay, so let's do a bit of mental math again. Now, 4 root 21 divided by 2 root 3. Okay, so I normally write this like that in this form. So 4 divided by 2 will give us a 2 here. Root 21 root 3. Root 21 can be written as root 7 root 3. So if you cancel the root 3 out, you'll be left with 2 root 7. Okay. The second one, 3 root 6 times 2 root 5, okay, divided by root 30. So again, I'll put this first, the bracket 1 on the numerator and root 30 on the denominator. I have written it here, okay. Now, because of root 6 and root 5, I'm going to break root 30 down as root 6 and root 5. So with that, I can cancel root 6, and root 5, root 5. So all I'm left with is 3 times 2, which is 6. So everything here, okay, will reduce to root 6, will reduce to 6. Please divided by root 30. Okay. Now, the next one here, root 3, 2 root 3 times 4 root 7 divided by 8 root 3. Okay, so now this one becomes 2 root 3 times 4 root 7 divided by 8 root 3. Now, if you write it this way, it's easier for you to cancel out. So root 3 will cancel out. 2 and 4 in the numerator will cancel this root 8 in the denominator. Okay, we'll cancel this 8 in the denominator. So you are left with root 7. Okay, so now everything here, 2 root 3 times 4 root 7 into bracket, all divided by 8 root 3 will be equals to 7. Root 7, sorry. So today my mental math is just 3. Okay, go and have a think and look about it. Watch that bit again and help yourself. Now, yesterday we expanded, okay? So you use the first term, multiply by everything in the second bracket, and then you use the second term, multiply by everything in this bracket. And you are taking note of the signs, okay? If it's plus, so we did that yesterday, I explained, okay? Please go back and watch the video, okay? Now today, factorize. How did I get -2 -3? How did I choose this? Because I could have guessed, I could choose -y and -4. So what was the reason behind? Well, even if I did -y -4, yes, it will still simplify back to -5. Okay, but how did I use -2 -3? Okay, because -2y -3y, if I add them together, I'll get -5y. Okay, so this is how I was taught. Y squared here, there is a 1 here, okay, 1 y squared. So I take this 1, this is +6, okay, so 1 here times 6 is 6, okay, so now it's +6, so I want 2 numbers. When I multiply, I'll get +6, and then when I add them together, I'll get -5y, and the only two numbers is minus 2, minus 3. So minus 2 times minus 3 will give me a 6, as I've written here. Okay, minus 2, that will give me this 6 here, which is 1 and 6. But if I add them together, minus 2 minus 3, I'll get minus 5, which is the middle term here. Okay, it's also true if you have a term more than one here. If you do it that way, you always go, you never go wrong with the factors you choose. So if I break it down, minus 2 minus 3y, I haven't done anything to this. Guess the 1 and the 6 is affecting my choice. Okay, so now y squared minus 2y. So first of all, I'll consider this. If I bring y out, I'll get a bracket y minus 2 into bracket, because if I multiply back, I have y squared minus 2y, which is the first bit. Now the second bit is minus 3y plus 6. If I bring minus 3 out into bracket, because whatever I get in this bracket, I have to get the same in the second bracket. Otherwise, I can't factorize. Okay, so now if I bring minus 3 out, I'll get y minus 2, because minus 3 times y will give me minus 3y. Minus 3 times minus 2 is plus 6, because minus times minus is a plus. That is why determining this step is very, very important. So now, in the two brackets, you should have y minus 2, y minus 2. You can't have y minus 2 and y minus 3 or y plus 3. It should be the same. So because of y minus 2, y minus 2, I can confidently put y minus 2 as one of my solutions. Then the next one will be y minus 3 there. If I multiply back as I showed you yesterday, I will get back to this point. Okay, so that's why I said expansion is easy, but with factorization, there's a lot of thinking, factors and stuff. You have to consider the sign, because before you break the middle term down, and then you have to consider the first term and the third term. Okay, if you use any, because assuming I did minus y minus 4, yes, if I simplify, I'll get minus 5. But if I look at it, my 1 here and my plus 6 here, and I multiply, it won't add up. So in the end, I'll get the wrong answer. So this is how I did the first one. Now let's look at this. That was how I was taught. Some people get taught with different things, but for doing maths for a long time, I think it's easier that way. Okay, if you watch the video several times, you will see. So now he did a middle term is 5 plus 5y. Here you have to be careful of the signs. Okay, so plus 5y. How are you going to break it down? Okay, so plus 5y, what I did was 7y minus 2y. Yes, 7y minus 2y will give me plus 5y. But how did I arrive at 7 and 2? So here, there is a 1 in front of y squared, and there is a 4 minus 14 here. Okay, you can't just consider the 14, you have to consider the sign. So 1 times minus 14 will give you minus 14. Okay, so now I want two numbers. When I multiply together, I'll get minus 14, but when I add, it should give me 5y. Okay, the only two numbers will be 7y, and the only numbers will be 7 and 2. Okay, if I choose, and minus 2, if I choose plus 2 and minus 7, yes, 1 times 4 minus 14 will give me minus 14. But if I add them together, I'll get minus 5y. So I have to choose the other one, plus 7 and minus 2. So I have a little note here. So I'm choosing plus 7 minus 2. And when I add them together, I'll get plus 5y, which is this plus 5 here. And then 1 times minus 14. If I choose plus 7 times minus 2, I'll get minus 14, which is this 1 here and the 14. So now I can insert it in my equation, and then I can factorize. Okay, so now I have y squared plus 7y minus 2y minus 14. So the first two terms, y into bracket y plus 7. Okay, so now I should be getting another y plus 7 in the second bracket. Nothing other than y plus 7. Okay, so now how can I get y plus 7? Guess by bringing out minus 2y. Okay, so here I have minus 2y, which will be y plus 7, because minus 2y times y will give me minus 2y here. Minus 2 times y will give me minus 2y. Minus 2 times 7 will give me minus 14. Okay, so now I can confidently bring y plus 7 out as my first bracket, and then y minus 2 as my second. Now look at it very carefully. I chose 7 and minus 2. Okay, so if I equate this to 0 and I want to find it, assuming the question equates it to 0, then my answer will be y minus 2 equals 0, or y plus 7 equals 0. Okay, so y minus 2 equals 0. My answer will be 2. Okay, my first y will be 2, and the y will be minus 7. Okay, so this is some of the things we learn, but we need to learn how to factorize a bit and how to choose the factors considering the first, second, and third term, because there are a lot of factors you can choose, but if you don't choose it right, you will not be able to factorize this. Okay, that's why I said expansion is easy, but factorizing, that is using the factors to break this down and coming at this point, is tricky. That's why today I'm only doing the y squared, which has ones, okay, as their the first number. Okay, I'm not doing it the complicated one like 3y squared plus this plus that, because it's the same thing. If you understand this process, it's the same way. You need to get two numbers and then use that to find the accurate two numbers that can break this down, so that you can get this immediately. You get this point, then everything is easy. Okay, now the third one. Here again, y squared minus 7y minus 8. Okay, so here again, I could choose 4 minus 3. I could choose, as we did before, 10 minus 3 minus 10. Okay, but I need to consider there's a 1 here, okay, and there's a minus 8 here. So 1 times minus 8 is minus 8. So I want two numbers. When I multiply together, it will give me minus 8. But when I add together, I'll get 7y. The only number I can find is minus 8 plus 1. Because if I multiply minus 8 times plus 1, I'll get minus 8. Okay? But, and then minus 8 plus 1 will give me minus 7y, as I've written here. So minus 8 plus 1 will give you minus 7. Minus 8 times 1 is minus 8. So now I'm going to put minus 8 minus y in place of 7y. Because if I simplify these two terms, I come back here. Okay. Now, y out into bracket y minus 8. Okay, so the second bracket also, there should be a y minus 8. Okay, now this side, I have only y minus 8. Okay, so plus y minus 8, because plus 1, okay, plus 1 times minus 8 will give me minus 8, plus 1 times y will give me plus y. Okay, so minus 8 minus 8, so that will be our first one. And then we have y plus 1, which will be the second one. So all this y squared minus 7y minus 8 will be equal to y plus 1 into bracket y minus 8. Now let's look at another example. Okay, y squared minus 13y plus 36. So two numbers, okay, 1 and plus 36. Okay, when I multiply them together, I'll get plus 36. When I add them together, I'll get minus 13. And the only two numbers I can find to make this factorization possible is minus 9 minus 4. Okay, so minus 9 minus 4. Next start, I will revise our multiplication using negative signs. We'll do that. Okay, minus 9 minus 4 will give me, if you add them up, will give you minus 13, which is the middle term here. And then minus 9 minus 4, because of the two negatives, if you multiply, you get 36, which is 1 times 36. So instead of minus 13, I'll put y squared minus 9y minus 4y plus 36. So y out into bracket y minus 9. Okay, because if I bring y out, what is left with y minus 9. Everything you are doing here, you should consider the signs. Okay, if you rush, you might have to do it again. Classroom work, if you have to do your homework, if you have to do it again, it doesn't matter. But if it's exam, relax, do it so that you can arrive at this point, that you don't lose any mark. Okay, some of these questions can give you 2 to 3 marks. Okay, you don't want to lose that. So we've done the first one. Now in the second bracket, I should have another y minus 9. The only factors that can give me that is minus 4. So that minus 4 times y will give me minus 4y. And the minus 4 times 9 will give me minus 36, because I know minus times minus is a plus. Okay, so now here I have y minus 9, y minus 4. Okay, so if they equate, they say find the values of y, and then they give you this equation to 0. At this point, you equate it to 0, and then you find y minus 4 equals 0, or y minus 9 equals 0. Okay, so this is how we've done it. So everything here, y squared minus 13y plus 36 will be equal to 4 y minus 4 y minus 9. Let's look at another example. Y squared plus 3y minus 40. Don't be intimidated by these huge numbers, okay? So that's why you need to know your times table, okay? So if I do 2 and 20, it won't affect this. So there's a 1 here, there is a minus 40 here. So 1 times minus 40 will give me minus 40. I want two numbers. When I add them up, I'll get, when I multiply them, I'll get minus 40. But when I add them up, it will give me plus 3. And the only two numbers are plus 8 minus 5. Because plus 8 minus 5 will give me minus 40. Plus 8 minus 5 will give me 3y. So if I have 8y minus 5y, is the same as this 3y, with the consideration of the first and the third term. Okay, watch the video over and over again if you have challenges in this factorization. Okay, this is the simplest one I can bring. Okay, so now I have y out, y plus 8. Okay, now there should be another y plus 8 in the bracket. At this stage, the term you get here should be the same term. Okay, so now, so that you can have y plus 8 and y minus something. So to get y plus 8, my number here will be minus 5. So that minus 5 times y will give me minus 5y. Minus 5 times plus 8 will give me minus 14. Okay, so now I can have y plus 8, which is this one, y minus 5, which is this one. Okay, if the terms in the bracket are not the same, then this you can't do this step. This step is not true. Okay, but to have these two steps, then you have to have the same things in the bracket. So y minus 5, y plus 8. That will be your solution for this one. Okay. So I've brought 5 simple algebraic expressions to look at the factorization bit. And I've used the fundamental rules, okay, to do it. This is how I was taught. Okay. So thank you for subscribing, liking, sharing, and following. Okay, if it's not going to cost you, please do help us and stay on the platform. If the account is not yours, ask permission before you use somebody else's account or open your own account. I'll go through the video. You will say, please follow my notes/scripts. If you follow my notes in the video, you won't go wrong. Okay. Beware of scammers. Take care of yourself online. I'm not asking for any funds, so you shouldn't give donation to anybody. People are kind, so they take advantage. Or can you donate to this place? Donate to the right causes, okay, so the right people can be helped. Thank you so much, okay, for joining me into this video, and I'll see you in the next.